And we're back. Wow, that was a
Hello
short
again.
break. It only took a second. Amazing. Anyway, all right. So back to Iberia. We're going to Milan. When are we going? No,
Yeah, I was just trying to plan a trip for my family to go to Spain because we've been to Barcelona and we just love it there. It's just amazing place, and we really would like to see more of Spain. So
this flight is from New York to where?
New York to Madrid, Barcelona. I mean, pretty much
Is it only
anywhere.
from New York, or is it from anywhere?
They're pretty much from New York right now. I mean, you're
Right.
going to pay more than what I quoted you if you're going to come from somewhere else, but still, that's still a great deal.
You can get a cheap flight to New York and then just switch if you do your own connection, but make sure you allow plenty of layover time because they don't wait for you. Do they have the same deals from like Miami and other places, Atlanta?
I'm not sure because I've only been checking New York because I figured anyone can get to New York for very cheap right now too. So
Yeah, New York's easy to get to, but especially if you're coming through New York and you're doing your own connection, make sure it's the same airport because Newark is not close to JFK. It's going to take you like half a day to get there, and you really don't want to do that kind of a schlep. That's really nasty. If you can always come into the same airport that you're going to go back out of, and allow like 3 times as much time as you think it's going to take, especially for an international flight, because it's just they do not wait. And if you're doing your own connections, you think, well, if I land at 3:30, I can make a 4:15 flight. No way,
Right.
Especially not an international flight.
yeah. The other thing is, I mean, pretty much all of Europe is on sale, but that's like the cheapest to get to Europe. And sometimes when we go to Europe, we just basically get the cheapest flight that we can, and then just jump on a train and go from there. And it's pretty cheap. But if you want to go to Italy, that's like $300-$400 right now too. So it's comparable.
Italy. So
Yes.
my wife Katie wants us to go to Italy.
If you want to check out all the travel deals, a place that I like personally and I'm subscribed to on my email, it's called smartertravel.com. And they're a dedicated staff there that talks about travel, and they find the best bargains, and if you subscribe to their email, they'll send them to you every time.
Like last minute? Is it always last minute?
No, not at all.
I should say for the record, Katie is one of my Twitter buddies, Twitterati, and they did this one of those online what do you call it, like tabloid things. Twitter newspaper made this spoof mock-up of the first wedding via Twitter.
Oh yeah.
And they said that I got married to Katie, but I'm denying any knowledge of it because I don't remember this happening at all.
And I'm totally being accepting.
Yeah, he's being a wonderful husband about it. He's totally accepting, but I would like to meet her someday. Since we are married. So, but anyway, we love Milan. Oh my God! Remember, Milan is like this part. Milan is like it's sort of industrial city, but it's like the most amazing fashion and the most amazing nightlife. Remember?
Yeah.
I love Milan. It's so awesome.
Anywhere in Italy is awesome.
Every place in Italy is very, very different than each other, but totally unbelievably awesome in its own way. I loved Italy a lot more than I ever thought I would, because everybody talks about it, and I don't know, I never had any interest really, but when I went there, oh my gosh, it's like magical. Venice and Florence, the food in Florence, the atmosphere in Venice, Rome is, oh my gosh, the Vatican is mind-blowing, and Milan was fantastic. So many things. So you can just say it out loud. You don't have to say, oh, you're typing the link. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to, for the people that are in doubt.
So did you have something else to say about that?
No.
Okay. I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about this more on Thursday when we do our tech things, but there's this new cell phone company that's really not new. I think it started in Florida. At least I know for sure it's been in Florida for a number of years now. It's now in New York City, but they have it everywhere, like all over the country. New York City seems to be one of the last places that they've added their service, but now it's here. So I think it's really ready for prime time. And I am switching to it I have an iPhone with AT&T, but what I'm in the process of doing is dropping AT&T off my iPhone. Because what I've realized is I use my iPhone, all the time. They have battery issues, as everybody knows. We love the iPhone so much that we go into denial about things like copy and paste. search and find, battery issues, MMS, being able to send and receive pictures on the phone. It has a lot of drawbacks, weaknesses, but a lot of people just kind of like go into denial about that because we love our iPhone. It's so cool. And it is fantastic for browsing the web because the way it renders a web page, I haven't seen anything equivalent yet, although I'm sure there are some now. But what I find that I'm doing with my iPhone is most of the time I'm using it for email or browsing the web. Now, email I can do on an airplane because it's offline. I use the email app, which is not the greatest, but it works. So I use the email app offline. So it doesn't matter if I'm on an airplane or a subway, there's no signal. I can do it on an elevator. I'm replying to my email, and as soon as it gets a signal, of course it syncs up. It sends everything out from the outbox, and it receives all the new stuff. Well, you don't need any signal for that. And the other thing that I do is I browse the web page, websites, some. But most of the time, I have to say, I have a Generation 1, the original iPhone, and the Edge network, I think it's called G1 or whatever, it's so slow. I mean, it's painfully slow.
It's gotten worse, I think.
I don't know, but maybe it's because we're getting more spoiled, but it's so painfully slow that I really don't do it unless I absolutely have to. If I have to look up a showtime because we're on the way to the theater or something like that, I'll use it. But normally I don't. I wait until I've got Wi-Fi. If you buy one coffee a month at Starbucks, you got free Wi-Fi at every Starbucks, which is like every 2 blocks in Manhattan, or Wi-Fi at home, of course. So it's really not necessary. I find out with tax and everything, I'm paying like $155 a month to AT&T, and I'm not even using AT&T for my phone, except as a phone.
Right.
Now the phone quality has gotten worse and worse. I'm dropping calls. Like I can talk to somebody on the phone for 10 minutes, and then I drop the call. It happens constantly.
Yeah.
It's gotten worse, I think, where we live anyway. I think maybe, I don't know if there's a tower down or what the heck is going on, but every 10 minutes we're dropping a call. The call quality is really bad, and I can't hear. Like if you're on the street and I'm talking, there's no way you can hear anything. The volume is so low, you have to be in a completely silent room.
Or have your headsets on.
Yeah, but I don't usually use the headsets. And then, so if I want to hear you, I have to put you on speakerphone and hold the speaker up to my ear. That's how bad it is. I have to put you on speakerphone and hold the speaker up to my ear, and then I can hear you in a restaurant. If I'm walking through Times Square, forget it. I can't even do it. I'm going to have to go inside somewhere. So what I found out with this Metro PCS service, first of all, they have unlimited voice, text messaging, and data, although the data is not that great because you're not, the data's fine, but you're not using it with an iPhone or a smartphone. It's a CDMA phone. But here's the thing. What I'm doing now is I have one phone for the voice calls, which is the Metro PCS, which is like a $29 phone in the sense that you get 1 month free service when you buy the phone. So it ends up costing you $29 for the phone. There's no contract, no credit check, and the voice quality is like 1,000 times better than the iPhone. So I'm going to cancel the AT&T on the iPhone, use the iPhone only as a mobile internet device. So I'll use it for my email, I'll use it for web browsing when there's Wi-Fi. If I really need to browse and there's no Wi-Fi, I just walk to the nearest Starbucks. No problem, right? And I'm on and Wi-Fi, of course, is really fast. It's just as fast as your home computer on your Wi-Fi network. So and it doesn't have to be Starbucks. You can use it anywhere, wherever they have. Like the public libraries have free Wi-Fi in the whole block. There's a lot of places. If you Google it, go to Google and search, like free Wi-Fi maps or something, you'll find that Panera Bread, lots of places now have free Wi-Fi. Or just freaking do your email and wait till you get home, and then when you get home, it'll automatically sync up for you. And that's what I use the iPhone for most of all anyway.
Right.
And then my voice calls work. Like so many times. Here's another thing about it. Well, actually, hold that thought. If you're on YouTube, click to go to the next part. We'll be right back after this jump.
Bye.
See you in a second.